they'll generally hang around with friends who have similar values to themselves, generally. If in fact the peer group, and it will peak between 13 to 16, the peers will know more than the parents ever will know. Right? The peers, you know, whatever the peer says, that's it. So you can expect between 13 to 16 that they deviate, but they won't go too far away if you've set the foundation, as I said earlier on. They'll come back to it. They'll come back to you later. But don't be too concerned if they do get a bit waylaid. But what I have found too is that if in fact after around about 15, 16, 17, the friends are still paramount and they're hanging around with the wrong crowd, it's often because there's a major problem with mum and dad relating to them. And they often seek that approval, they seek some help, they seek some camaraderie and some kind of affiliation outside of the home because they haven't got it with mum or they haven't got it with dad, and they get into the wrong crowd. Almost every time I've noted that. And finally, being good at something. Just anything, it doesn't matter. I mean, putting up, having certain paintings around the house or certain exhibits, or being good at sport, or whatever it happens to be. If they win a trophy, put it somewhere prominent. Put it in the kitchen where everyone who comes into the place sees it. Make a big deal of it. Because everybody in this room and all of your offspring are good at something. Find out what it is and really go for it. Make sure others know it too. They might be avid readers and know authors off by heart. And I've had some of those students who come in and they can chat about authors I've never heard of. And I go, wow, isn't that amazing? Absolutely amazing. And others come in and they're like walking encyclopedias and they go, wow. Others are great chess players and I go, that's fantastic. Others are great on their motocross bikes. There's one little boy I've seen is a state champion with go-karting. And he's in year 7, I think. I go, wow. How about that? And Dad was smart enough to say, yes, my son's had a learning disorder and never been real good in the classroom, so I made sure that I found something that was good outside the classroom. And I went, well done. Well done. If I had to choose between a smart intellect and a healthy self-esteem, I'd certainly choose the latter every time. So a few hints. Just a few hints now. Now, I don't wish to offend with some of these hints, and some of you might go, what's he saying? But basically, the number one hint I have to tell you is to stay connected. Under no circumstances can you afford to get separated from your adolescent. You've got to stay linked. In fact, there was one parent that I saw, a husband and wife, had 3 sons. And what the father did is every birthday, he and one of the sons did something special. And the son could choose. So it might be camping. Generally it was away, camping, for a weekend, just with Dad. Sometimes it was going ballooning. Other times it would be going up to a particular race somewhere around Australia. There was a special weekend. And it was a way of getting connected. And sometimes you ought to do things with your adolescent that you haven't planned to the hilt beforehand. It might be something really new that neither of you done, like kayaking. You're like, oh my God, I couldn't stand it. But try it out. You know, whatever it happens to be, try it out. Something new that you haven't done and planned to the hilt, where you both get to experience it, whatever it might be. It might be horse riding, it might be snow skiing, it might be a ride in a helicopter, hot air balloon. Anything that you haven't tried out before, try out with your adolescent. Hint 2, be unshockable. Try to be poker face. Don't let your teens shock you. Even though you might be doing cartwheels on the inside from what you might be hearing, or it might be turning you grey instantly, give the impression on the outside that you're unflappable and that you're taking it all in your stride. And as they're telling you, don't interrupt. Don't say, oh my God, you did what? I mean, don't be tempted to give them a lecture. Hear all of it. I had one mother recently, she didn't know whether her adolescent was testing her or not, but they were in the car and they were talking and the 2 adolescents were in the back seat and something came up about sex and trying it out or whatever. She said, I nearly put the car off the road into a pole. She said, I went, oh my God, But she said, I talked to them afterwards and they were just kind of having general chit chat. There wasn't anything in it. But it was the nature of the conversation where she went, oh, strike.